not about the sex that you're going to have with those 40 virgins. If you think that that is your reward, I think you're missing the boat there. Because no, really. Yeah, I know. It's a good thing, to lay with a woman. Yeah, I know. But a virgin, is a metaphor, and I think that you can never understand the value of a virgin because you can never be around them. You can never understand. You can be around your sisters, and you can love and be with your sisters and get that pleasure, but it's not the same as to be with another virgin. When you're a shaman, let me explain this. This is something that you can never make clear, and people will always misjudge it, but I'm going to try it. Oh, yeah, I know you have your doubts about me, but this is what I understand about virgins. You get the virgins, and they have something that men really want, and I'm gonna get graphic here. I don't really like to use this language, but it makes it clear, okay? The thing about it's like I always get the virgins, and it's not about the pussy, And although the pussy is very sweet, and when I'm with them, I'm very interested in it, but the rule is you cannot penetrate. You cannot have the sex. You can have anything else, but you can't have the sex. And when they're young and they're virgins, that's pretty much fine with them, up to a point. And you can be with them, and you can give them the Dharma. You can teach them what they need to be a human being, what they need to deal with a man or with all men, or with all men and all women. You can teach them what you have, and they will serve you, and they will be your apprentice. I don't call them virgins, I call them apprentices, because they're not always, technically virgins when I get them, but, they're close enough, and the reason, you have to say that they're virgins is the very essence of what it's about. When you penetrate, when you fuck them, everything changes. It's like it becomes a different reality, and it's not just the shallow, just go and have a baby or whatever. It's like I beat my head for the longest time with this, because to be a shaman, you have to go through phases, or a priest, or anyone who takes a path of service and of religious, philosophical. If you're going to be real and if you're going to be honest, you have to make certain vows, and you have to decide what your reality is going to be and what is going to rule you. Yeah, you did those things, yeah. Well, with me, with a shaman, the first thing you learn, is how to have anything you want, That's the first lesson, and it's not hard, It's not hard to learn, and I'm not going to go into it here because it's irrelevant. But once you learn, what it takes to get any woman you want, you find after you've done it once or twice or several times that it's not all it's cracked up to be. Because, okay, I'll just give it all away right here. You can have any woman you want. You just have to find out what she wants, and then become that thing. Sounds simple, right? And when you're young, it kind of is. I had a big advantage when I was growing up, because there was no computers or internet or anything, and so I had this edge because I knew how to read and how to use the library. So I'd find some girl in school or whatever, and we'd talk, and she'd tell me what she, you'd find out what she was interested in. Then you just go to the library and look up, and get, crib a bunch of notes, and then next time you saw her, you'd go, oh, so hot and top sound at the bop, 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 and, bam, next thing, because a woman, as long as you're giving a woman what she wants, she'll do anything for you. You can wrap around your little finger if you're giving her what she wants. That's the essence of it. And I suppose it's true of men to a certain extent. I just never really was concerned about that. But the joy, of having a virgin, it leads to whenever there's joy and it's a curve, and then it gets to the point with every woman, every woman, is that she's going to have enough, and then she's going to want the one thing that you can't give her, and it's like, after a certain point, I mean, I wasn't always where I am now, but really since I was, maybe 19 or 20, I never fucked a woman that she didn't beg me and didn't, force me to. And every time I did, it was like the beginning of the end, because, like I said, everything changes, And, there's essential difference with women. Men want to learn and women want to learn, but men learn faster. That's the thing about men. And I don't know why, and maybe women learn better or deeper or something. There's usually a compliment. But, men are good at figuring things out and get what they want, especially white men, I don't know how we figured it out. I guess it has to do with language, and especially the English language, but that's another chapter in the book. So, you get the 40 women, you get the 40 virgins, but you don't get to keep them, you can't, brother, you cannot live with 40 women, it's just not going to happen, and you gotta have a caliphate or whatever, you gotta have taxes coming in from a million different directions if you think you're going to support 40 women, it's just not reality, and you think, well, paradise isn't reality, and I'm telling you that paradise is definitely not reality. How did I learn all this about women and men? I'm a shaman, but there are medicine women too, there are women out there in the world who, they're teachers, they're going to teach. They see a man. It's like me, every shaman. It's like there's this pheromone or something. I can't detect it myself, but women can smell me a mile away. So one of the things I've had to adopt in my persona is to be very slovenly and unattractive, and to dress in a very, I try not to ever wear more than $25 worth of clothing at any time. Not counting my shoes. But but women can see me, and there's like this thing that goes on in the world. I guess they call it the great game. And I never, I used to play it when I was younger, but then, you kind of forget about it, because it's like, it's like there's life, and then there's a game that makes life more interesting, and then you get beyond the game, and you're writing your own rules or whatever, and you just don't have to be aware of it. But it's there at a level. And there's a lot of people that, the one thing that's so very important in the game is avarice, pride and lust. These are the things that you really stop it. Really, it's true. It's true. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Everyone says that. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to get over pride. It's hard to not be greedy. It's hard not to be lusty. It's hard, sometimes, but it's not so hard, really. When you're there with a girl who trusts you, and she's a young girl, and you're teaching her a lot of things, and then she says, "What do I have to give to this man?" And she looks around and says, "Well, I can clean the house, and then once the house is clean, she can cook something, or." Whatever, she's, clean my brushes or go run errands or whatever, but it comes down to it's late at night, and we're there together, and men can take and take, but women can take and take too, but when there's love, that comes, and with, I'm in love with every girl I meet, but everybody, handles love in their own way. Like an ugly girl, I've tried and tried, to get places with ugly girls, and they just will never bite, you know. And I think it's something inside of them that they can never say that this man loves me, you know. And you know, I can't really say what makes a girl ugly because they're all beautiful to me. You know, some of them are kind of fat or kind of skinny, or you know, kind of have irregular features or whatever. But if you know, I see who they are. You know, I see people who they are. But really, only the pretty ones seem to respond, and I don't know why that is. It must come down to you got that look in your face like, why didn't I? You should have known all this. You know, Osama, I know that you know this stuff. You never got the yeah. They did what? Oh man. Well, you know, I guess they'd probably chase me, you know, if I was trying to go to the girl's house, but they always come to me, you know. Yeah. You know, love is a road to abuse, you know, and I don't always know the whys. You know, that's the thing about life. You know, people always want the whys, and they're not always apparent. And sometimes you don't get the whys until, you know, 30 years later. You know, but you have to, you know, if you have the scale, you know, is this good? Is this bad? Is this indifferent? You know, if you can apply the scale to your actions, you know, you'll be in good shape, and you'll know. You know, it's like radar. You know, when something is right, you know it's right, and when something's wrong, you know it's wrong. And you have to, you know, realize you have to come from a strength of ego. There's ego and id, which I really don't like those words. They're concepts, you know. But you know, I like to call it Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice. You know, there's ego man, ego woman, id man, id woman, because you know, really, they're four different things, you know, and you lump them together or whatever, and you don't. It goes back to that fine distinction thing. But Bob, Carol, Ted, and Alice. That'll be a chapter in the next book. You know, but it's like what you are and what you may become, but you have to hold back the ego because the ego is always pushing up. You know, we come to Kandinsky, one of my great teachers, and he had the axiom of the ascending triangle. You know, society, all civilization is a triangle. You know, with three parts. You know, two lines going across it horizontally that make three divisions. And at the top are the most, you know, the most ambitious, the most well-educated, the most well-financed people. And they're pushing up all the time. You know, they're pushing the triangle up. You know, in the middle is like the bourgeoisie, the good people who work hard and do their best and pay their bills and, you know, make babies and, you know, go to church and do all the things that people do, you know. And then the bottom third is the people who just cannot get it together, you know, the criminals, the, you know, chronically, you know, drunk or habitual, you know, bad behaving people, you know, they're on the bottom, you know, and they're always going to be at the bottom. But you know, a funny thing happens, you know, the triangle is always going up, you know, so the people at the top are always at the top, you know, they're always the ones reaching and pushing farther, you know, but pretty soon the ones that are in the second level come up to where the ones at the top were before, you know, so that the people that were really smart at first, people below them, you know, are as smart as those people used to be. Of course, people at the top are smarter and richer going up, but you know, that's just the way it works. You know, and pretty soon those lowlifes at the bottom come up to the point where just the hardworking people were, you know, they get better. You know, although there's always, you know, someone at the very bottom, like the dregs. But that's just, you know, that's just the way it is. You know, we're human beings. You know, we're only practicing. You know, nobody's perfect. What's that, Osama? Yeah, I know, I'm talking too much. Well, you gotta do what? But you're not. Oh, okay. Gertrude Stein's taking the bowling, huh? Cool. Okay, well, you know, good luck with that virgin thing. Yeah, I'll talk to you again.
Listen to your woman, but not close.